show straight on the road. Done really good on the Grand Roulette, so I'm just going to stay on that for today. Seemed to work well. Got ourselves up to the magic £1,000 today on this Grand Roulette, so yeah, we'll just stick with that, see what we get first. Number 17 is the first one, so let's get straight in there on number 17. So yeah, I think target for tonight will go for 1030, possibly 1050. We'll see how it goes, how I'm feeling. It's getting quite late here, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Yep, we just rebet here. So yeah, I don't get why the camera is so jumpy today on their side. I don't think it's my connection. I mean, I have a pretty strong connection here, so I think it's just Sky Casino. They're very strange and weak with their connection sometimes, but hopefully it won't cause any problems. Hey, whatever. How's it going, man? Good to see you back. Oh, look at this. Straight in with the double kill. I think that's karma evening itself out from earlier, because yeah, earlier on today it sent me over the 14 spins into tier 2, and it did that twice within 2 hours, which is unusual. Usually you'd get it once every 3 hours, So it's given me a couple of double wins straight away, which is nice. Always good for my per hour profit. Wow, it took a long time to pick up there that I was betting on the street. $26, almost got it straight away. Doesn't really matter, we'll end up hitting the win at some point. It's just the way the system goes, always guarantees the win in the end. So loss on 9. So we'll continue for 2 more spins at 2 streets. No win. That 16 keeps coming in quite hot though. Oh yeah, 16 and 3 are the hottest numbers right now. In the last 500 spins. So we're up to 3 streets. We join the street of number 9. If I can actually hover over that street. Just tried your strategy on a roulette sim and I have some trouble in the last game. Can you explain the tier 2 thing? Tier 2. Yeah, sure, I can. I'll be more than welcome to help you out. More than happy, rather, to help you out. So tier 2 is literally the same as tier 1. But obviously when you first go into tier 2, you stick with the same streets. 1 second, let me just catch up with my bets. So you carry on with the same 3 streets, but you carry on from where you bet in £2. So where the last spin I was betting 20 pence on each spin, you take off on the same 3 streets on £2. So it's £2 here, £2 here. Then the next spin is £3, then £4, then 5, then 7. So you literally take off from there. And so what that will do is where you've got 14 rounds in tier 1, it'll give you an extra 10 rounds because you're taking off from round 5 essentially, which is the bet level of £2. So you get an extra 10 spins. So essentially you have 24 spins in which to hit a win. So far it's never gone over 24 spins without a win for me personally, but your mileage may vary. It would be extremely unlucky if you went over 24 spins without a win. But that isn't the end as well, so you'll almost certainly hit a win when you go up to tier 2, because you'll stick with those three streets. But that isn't the end. You still need to win at least 2 more times. So as soon as you hit that win, you stay with the £1, but you just start from the beginning. So she hit a 16 here for me. Say I pretend I won on 28. She hits a 16 and you just start over again. So it'd be £1 on 16 and then £1 on say 13, because that would be the next street. I hit a win here. And yeah, you just literally rinse and repeat until you get over where you initially started from. So now I'm on £1,003. I would stay at level tier 2 until I got over £1,003, if that makes sense. So that's why it's important to have a minimum bankroll of £423, because if you lose at tier 1 you've lost £38. So you jump up to tier 2, but your bankroll for tier 2 is £385. So you need over 400 in your bankroll. Does that make sense? We have the last dealer chose 2 numbers, 2 streets in the last dozen, and then walked away. Does, thanks. Okay, cool. Glad I could help. So one more thing to add to that, if you're still in the chat. This playing with just tier 1 and tier 2 is not the full strength of the system. So while I'm doing it, like being really effective with it right now, to be fully safe on this system with like minimal risks, there is a tier 3, and I'll explain that in just a jiffy. So tier 3, it's quite simple. You understand tier 2. Tier 3 is just times 10. So where we were on 10 pences, we times 10 for tier 2 to go up to £1, and obviously times 10 from £1 is £10 chips, and for that you need a total bankroll of 4,273, because if the worst of the worst does happen and you go over those 14 rounds on tier 2, you want to be jumping up to tier 3 to make all of that money back. And as you can see, it's very rare that you go over 14 rounds for tier 1. It hasn't so far never gone over 14 rounds when I'm at tier 2, but if one day that ever did happen, I would have tier 3 in which to make that money back. So yeah, the full strength of the system is 3 tiers. And we're up to 3 streets. No win this time. Just add a chip onto each street. Could it go up to 100 on another table? Do you mean instead of betting 10 pound chips, you bet 100 chips? Yeah, I'm sure there's high roller casinos where you can bet 100 pound chips. I'm absolutely certain of that. I'm nowhere near that level yet, so I haven't looked into it. But I'm sure one day. Because if you can imagine, if you're betting 100 pound chips, so 10p averages, an average win is £1.10. This is £11. This would be £110. So £100 chips would average you £1,100 every win. That's pretty good. I mean, can you imagine just one time a day you just go up to a casino table and do this strategy and you get £1,100 every day? That's your shift done for today then. $29 is a loss. Rebet, add 2 chips this time. $25 is a win. So about a game breaking strategy. To be honest, I think it's already at the stage where it is confirmed game breaking strategy, because if you think about it, where I've made £600 at the lowest level, just one level up from here, that would be £6,000. Another level up from there is £60,000. So yeah, it's pretty much confirmed as game breaking. But the way the casinos deal with such strategies is they have table limits. That's why table limits exist. Table limits don't exist because casinos just like setting limits. These limits are literally created to stop known strategies. For example, strategies like just doubling up on the outside bets. So say just betting on £5 on red, then doubling up to 10, then 20, 40. those limits were created to stop such strategies, and there is many such strategies as that one, and that's where these betting limits come in, the table limits come in. And because this is such a new strategy, there is no table limits to stop it. Well, there is table limits, but you can go according to your bankroll to each, because my bankroll is so low, I just find a table with limits that are suitable for me. So I checked the minimum bet on a street is 10 pence. The maximum bet on a street is 75, which is fine because the highest I'll go up to is 36 per street. So it's fine for this 75. And also the table limits, you have to check minimum 10 pence and maximum 1,000. So the table limits are what are the things that stop these strategies. So I can imagine a situation in the future where if I keep using Sky Casino, they would maybe catch on to this system and possibly just change the table limits. I don't think they're really interested in banning people for success. What I imagine they would do is simply update their table limits in reaction to strategies. So it'll be interesting when that happens. Actually, it'll be interesting. Hopefully my balance will be at a different position when that does happen, because then obviously all I need to do is cash out and go to a different casino, and there are many casinos where I can just use 50 pences and £1. So yeah. And if worse comes to worse, you can actually just go into a real casino, and there's so many different casinos, especially if you live in a country or an area where there's a casino close by. I mean, just a few miles from me there are 3 casinos, and I'm sure in one of those casinos there would be table limits that would be suitable for me to use this. And I think in the future as well, no, I don't think, absolutely for sure in the future I want to live stream me playing this strategy in a casino with an actual live dealer while I'm sat at a casino table, because I think that would be really interesting to do, and I think a lot of people would enjoy watching such a stream, I imagine. So yeah, one day I'll definitely go down to a casino. I think I may have to clear it with them first that I'm allowed to record and broadcast from their establishment. But yeah, that would be a very interesting stream to indulge in. That's a loss on 32. We have one more spin before we go up to 3 streets. You would watch this for sure? Yeah, I think. Thanks, man. Thanks. I appreciate the support, and I believe quite a few people would be interested in watching it. I mean, from a personal standpoint, I would also enjoy if someone on Twitch would just broadcast live from a casino. I think that would be extremely interesting to watch. So yeah, I'm I'll have to call around to a few of the local casinos soon and start figuring out some ideas, and even just test if it's possible, because I can imagine some casinos would be a bit funny about people live streaming from inside their own premises. Others would maybe like the attention and the free publicity. So yeah, I'll get on to that. I'm pretty sure there's 3 in my area, and I'll call each of them up and check out what their rules and regulations are on such things. I can't imagine they actually have. Or maybe they do. Maybe they don't allow recording to take place without permission. In fact, I might call them tomorrow because I am intrigued. I want to know if it's even a viable idea. It's forbidden to record in casinos. Yeah, I thought so. Kind of had a feeling about that. But I would imagine if you get consent from the manager of the casino, perhaps it would be possible. I mean, especially if you're gonna say, if you're gonna obviously tell the manager you're only gonna be playing at one table, your own personal table, roulette table, like no one else will join, or perhaps they'll only join it if they're made aware that you're going to be streaming. But we'll see. Could go either way. They might be like, nah man, there's no way you're going to be streaming in our casino, or they might be, this is an interesting idea, I'll get back to you. So I'll let you guys know. Actually, I'll give the local casinos a call and find out. Try and get a feel for if they're going to be up for this idea potentially. It's casino policy, trust you. Oh yeah, and like, I'm not doubting there's a policy behind it, but as with all policies, they're open to if certain situations arise, they can not relax the policy, but like, I don't know, try to accommodate your wishes. But like I said, maybe they'll just not have any interest at all. I'll try and pitch it to them like in a interesting way that obviously they'll get free publicity on the stream. I can put an overlay with what casino I'm using, so it's kind of like free advertisement for them. I'll try to think of other ways to entice them into it. I mean, the closest casino to me, it's called Rainbow Casino. It's not the most well-known casino, so I can imagine they might be up for free publicity. So it's worth trying. If they say no, there's no loss. I just carry on streaming online. I just thought, it might be a nice idea to actually stream from a live casino. Is it okay for Twitch to stream? Yeah, I don't think there's any terms and conditions for me streaming from a casino. I mean, I am streaming on the actual casino subsection, so it would be a bit bizarre if they don't allow me to stream from a live, just because I'm in a live venue. 14, 25. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I hope at least one of the casinos shows interest, because if there's some interest, then I have something to work with. If they just give me a flat no, it's going to be a little bit harder to break them down and try and get some movement going there. I occasionally go to the casinos anyway, so even if they do say no, I can talk to some of the croupiers there, some of the managers, and maybe like try and convince them to be interested in the idea, and then I could potentially get some sort of leverage through them, because if they're interested in the idea, then their bosses will be more receptive to the idea. So that's for a project way down the line anyway. It's not going to be anytime soon. Just thinking ahead. I'm getting way too ahead of myself. But if I just start the ball rolling, let's say, and then things could develop in the future. Zero, eh? So let's add 3 chips. Oh, no, 2 chips. So yeah guys, if you're new to the channel and you're interested in roulette and you're intrigued by the idea of watching me live stream from an actual casino, please do consider hitting that follow, because I'm going to be working on we got the win. I'm going to be working on making that idea a reality. But even if I can't live stream from an actual casino, I'm still going to be here. I'm going to be streaming live roulette, hopefully on a daily basis, but yeah, quite often I'm going to be here and kind of juggling it with my day job at the moment. I work a full-time job, so on my days off I spend as much time streaming. Today's one of those days. I work in retail, so I get the weirdest days off, Tuesday and Wednesday. I usually use those 2 days to stream as much as possible, and then on the other days it's a little bit random. But yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna put a schedule up on Twitch so you guys can actually get some idea when I'll be streaming. Not supposed to bet on the street of 25 instead of 14. Where did you see that? So I had 31, 35, 22, 20, 14. No, that was right, it was 14 was the correct street I should have been betting on. I'll just triple check that now. 1 second. Let me update my notes. And I'll talk you through my checks also. So the first one that came in was 31. So I bet on street of 31. Then it was 35. So that was my second street. Then it's a loss on 22. then a loss on 20, then a loss on 14, and 14 decides my third street, and then 25 was a loss. So yeah, it's 31, 35, and then 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fifth spin decides the third street. $32 lost on 35. So in this case, 22 was the first spin, and that's the first street, and then 32 is a loss, but that's my second street. Third spin is 35, and then we have two more spins, this spin and the spin after it. If it's a lose, that will decide my third street. Hey Webby Life, how's it going, man? But your first loss is on 35, no? Yeah, the first loss was, no, the first loss was 31. Even though I'm not betting on that spin, I count that as the first round, the first loss. So like that 31 decided my first street, and then 35 was the first time I lost money. That was the second spin. It's a little bit confusing, but trust me, 14 was definitely the street I should have been betting on. So you bet 20 pence on 14, right? Yeah, when I went up to 14, that was 20 pence on all three streets, not just 14. Wow, that street is hot as fuck. And unfortunately, we're only joining that hot street now. Which is kind of unlucky. So I hit it 1, 2, 3 times in a row. Damn it. Because there's no way it's going to remain that hot. It's going to go absolutely dead cold now. So basically I'm relying on those two streets. 17 is not one of them. So did you bet 20 on 12? 14. Ah, okay. Yeah, so now I stick, every single street always has the same amount of chips on it. Whether I'm betting on 2 streets or 3 streets, they always have the same uniform bet amount. Number 4 is a loss. So I rebet, and at this stage I just add 1 chip. So at this stage we have 8 spins remaining. 9 numbers give us a 1 in 4 chance, so in a way we have double the chance with a 1 in 4, if that makes sense. The max bet is £25. Nope, the max bet at tier 1 is £3.60 on each street, and when you go up to tier 2, the max bet is times 10 of that, so it's £36. Boom, 32. We got the win. I'm glad we got that, because I was a little bit worried about that last street that was going to turn cold because it hit it 3 times in a row. So I'm glad to be out of that one. The max bet for the table. Oh, okay. So I see what you mean. It says at the top here, Grand Roulette, 10 pence to 25. That's on straight, single numbers. But for the street, the max bet is 75, which is fine because we're only going to go up to 36. the maximum that I'll be going up to is 36, so we're well within the whoa, there's me saying it's gonna go cold again. When we're not betting on this last street, it comes in. You don't want to be betting 20 on there. That street is insanely hot. But yeah guys, if you're following this strategy and you're playing it at the same level as I'm playing it at 10 pences, the only good casino that I found to do it on is Sky Casino. That's the one I'm using now. I'm in no way affiliated with Sky Casino. I'm just saying this to save you guys some time if you're gonna try and copy this system at the same level I'm playing it at. You only get Sky Casino, but if you're gonna search for other casinos or do this at a different level, say £1 coins, make sure you check not only the street limits, so the minimum and maximums, to make sure they're not gonna screw you over. Be sure to check the table limits as well, which is another limit that can screw you over. With this table limit is 10 pence to a maximum amount you're allowed to put on the table of 1,000. So I'm well within these, but depending how much you're going to be betting and yeah, what casino you're playing at as well, you'll need to keep an eye on those. So it's just something to think about. And yeah guys, if you're new to the stream, please do consider hitting that follow. It does help me out in a big way. I'm going to be streaming a hell of a lot of roulette and roulette strategies. In the future I do plan to mix it up and try other strategies out. Possibly if some viewers have strategies of their own they would like me to test out, or they don't have the bankroll to test it themselves, I'll be willing to take a look at other strategies as well. But just for now, I'm going to be streaming this strategy that I've developed, and it seems to be working really well. So please do consider smashing that follow. The stream is lagging behind a bit, so I'm just going to reconnect to the table. Wow, wow, it's insanely hot. What is going on? I'm not going to go there. I'm just going to wait for this girl to make a new spin. Look at this, 36, 34, 32 is close, 36 again, 34, 36 again. And then further down here, there's another like 35s, 34s, 36. It's running red hot, this final street. Master Euban, welcome back, man. What's up, man? And then you're claiming the spins are good? Oh. Mate, it doesn't even make a difference. This is just me, you know, having a moan about how much is coming in there, but it really doesn't make a difference. I mean, oh god, this makes a difference. What is going on? Cancel, cancel. Oh. suppose it's only 10 pence if I wanted to jump out now. Still alive and dreaming still. Yeah. Not only am I still alive, if you see here, the balance is well over that 4-digit number now. What is going on? I'm gonna be crazy. I'm gonna wait for that camera to update. I'm feeling risky. Could have 1 billion, it doesn't matter to you. Just continue until it's Ucash. What do you mean? Like, oh, did I just win? Oh no. What's going on? So literally I'm just playing on the update here. I'll explain about the 25 pences in a minute, by the way, Eubin. I wonder if I can fix it by clicking like a madman. Perhaps changing the video settings to low. Oh, here we go. Whoa! Right. Why was I not in that last street? It is running insanely hot. I've never seen anything like it. Right. Sim system, you know my opinion already about it. Yeah, you have a very unique opinion about the system. Considering I was at 420 and now I'm at 1000, even if I was to suffer a loss of like the biggest amount I can lose is 423, I'd still be well in the profit. So yeah, I don't really understand your opinion. I mean, like, I know where it's coming from, because you said, oh, it looks like I am using that last street because a 0 came in, so I have to choose that 36 as the number for my 3rd street. Oh, what am I doing? I should have just let that 10 pence go when the stream was going really weird. But whatever, we're here now. We're committed. Tell me you're going to be here 15 hours tomorrow. Potentially I could be here 15 hours tomorrow because I don't have work. Whoa! Whoa! I did not expect that. I've never seen a street run so hot in my life. This is quite unreal. Yeah, Merlin, I know. I'm a high flyer, high roller here. And it's 20 pences, by the way, so, you know, there's a difference. There's something like 25 cents. I'll have you know. Get it right, mate. So, Master Eubin, about the 25 pences, I'll explain to you what went on. So a few days ago I cashed out of here, Sky Casino, and I put it all into Bet365 because Bet365 have the lowest chip of 25 pence. Is one of the few casinos that have 25 pence as their lowest chip. And so the plan was to use that, and obviously I would have been making I don't know, where's my notes? I would have been making £37 per hour. but something happened. Something dreadful happened on that day. It was about 2 days ago. This thing here. So obviously I already checked the street limits. The minimum was indeed 25 pence. The maximum was something like £300, which is hunky-dory. That's absolutely perfect. So I started betting 25 pences on streets and it rejected my bets. And then I learned something in that moment, thanks to someone in chat who pointed out there is such things as table limits. And the minimum bet on a table limit on Sky Casino is 10 pence, which is nice. But on Bet365 it was £1. So obviously I couldn't just bet 25 pence on one street because it was below the table limits. And so the dream ended. I had to cash out, but for a little bit of a laugh, before I cashed out, I actually decided to do £2. I'd done one run at £2, and it worked. I ended up winning £28 on one round of this system, which I was very pleased about. So now I'll catch up with chat because I haven't been able to read it.
No, we're back. Wish you luck.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of table limits. I know, right? They've never had to, like, obviously I was aware of table limits in a way, in the way that you can only bet certain amount on straight up, certain amount on splits and odd evens. I was aware of that, but I never knew about actual minimum bets. Like, for example, why I just can't understand why they would allow you to bet a minimum of 25 pence on a street, but not set the table limit to match the minimum amount on that street. Like, who are they trying to stop there by doing that, by putting just £1? It doesn't really stop any system except my system, and there's no way they were aware of my system because I literally only created it like recently. So I just don't get why they had that minimum set to £1. But whatever. All that's gone and done is delay the inevitable of me winning with 50 pence chips instead, because that's my next target, is 25 pences. 50 pences, sorry. And for that I need a bankroll of, where is my notes, £2,134, but I'm just going to call it at £2,000. As soon as I hit £2,000 I'm going to start playing at 50 pence chips.
And finally, one red for a dozen for a scallop, low on or
What do you mean finally one red? Oh yeah, her volume seems a little bit high as well.
Thank you. And no, we're back.
William Hill, his table max is 500k. Okay, that's going to be useful to know in the future. Hint hint, that I believe in my system. We'll catch up with chat in just a tick. 7. 5 flat bet is 2.5k, dozens, not sure. Well, 60 pence bet. You're high rolling, I know, man. System in roulette, lol. The rules are for some reason, but who cares? You deposit and follow the rules, that's their rules. Well, yeah, I know that. I know, like, there's some people who really don't believe that there are systems, but if there was no such thing as a system for roulette, why did table limits exist? Explain that one, Merlin. For what reason do casinos even need table limits if there's no such thing as a system that works? It's just luck. Okay, so I guess I got a good question about your luck here, Merlin. Just gonna prod you on one thing. Just give me a second. Keep your eye on the screen. I'm gonna show you something. So luck has dictated that in the last 500 spins we have an almost perfect split of black and zeros of 49% to 46%, with a few zeros thrown in there. I mean, is that luck to you? Or perhaps it's lucky that there's a 47 split and a 48% split between the top and the low 18s. Is that luck? Or perhaps it's luck that the percentage for the last 500 spins for each dozen is 31, 31, 33. I mean, I know what you're saying about luck, but the more numbers you gather, the more data you gather, the more luck is no longer involved. At some point, probability takes over, and probability dictates that over a large enough amount of numbers, the spread is going to be even, because every single number has the same amount of chance of being hit. So in a way, there is no such thing as luck. There is only probability. And if you design a system around probability, you're going to win eventually. And that is what this system does. It literally is designed around the probability of a street coming in, while staying within the table limits. And that's how systems work. That's why table limits exist. If you can find a system that can gather enough numbers while staying within the minimum and maximum bets, you've got a working system. Most systems fail because they can't go over the maximums. Someone followed me. BTS 707, thank you very much for the follow, very much appreciated. I'll catch up with chat in a minute. Sorry guys, 1 second. I'm just catching up on my notes. What the hell? This street is insane. Mental Rental, love the name, and thank you for the follow. So I'll catch up with chat. Well, Merlin, I've been playing for 15 days, so I must be one of the luckiest people alive to be making a profit every single day for those 15 days. I mean, if you can find someone else as quote unquote lucky as me, then, you know, let me know, man. 15 days, a 15-day winning streak, and not just like a small winning streak. I've been like, it's been £50 like daily, sometimes more. It's a pretty good run for 15 days without none of those days being a loss. It's pretty good. Indeed, it's all about maths. Exactly. Master Yubin gets it. Like, Master Yubin doesn't even like my my strategy. He doesn't believe in it, but he's smart enough to know that luck is not a factor in roulette. It is. It depends how you bet in. Obviously, if you're just going to bet random, it's all about luck. But there is such things as strategic betting, because probability is a real thing, whereas luck is questionable. You can't prove or disprove there is luck. It's like believing in God. You can't prove that, and you can't disprove it. Luck is just luck, as Master Yubin pointed out. It's just a 4-letter word, whereas probability is mathematics, and you can't argue with mathematics. Mathematics just is. And if you base a strategy around mathematics, then yeah, the job is half done. What did I start with? I started with so on day 4, I believe, I was at 420. So from 420 up to where I am now in 10 days. 15 hours per day. How many hours a day? I don't know. It's been random because I got a regular day job, so I can't even say like how many hours a day I've been streaming. But basically in 10 days I've got from 420 to almost 1020. And every single one of those days have been profit. I've never been under on any of those days. Said Sir Bond, in my data I watched of dozens didn't hit 90 spins. You mean streets didn't hit 90 spins, I guess, not dozens. Even if you divide it by 3, will be 30 spins without 3 spins. Yeah, oh yeah, so the thing I wanted to say about that, Master Yubin. So that's worst case scenario. So can you imagine how unlucky you'd need to be to have, like, so you divide it by 3, you would need those 3 streets to coincide, to go cold by 90 numbers at the same time. That is insane. That's like asking to see 10 zeros coming out in a row. You ain't gonna see it, or you will see it like if you play 100,000 times, maybe you'll see it then. But by the time that insane, unlikely probability happens, you should have easily been in profit. I'm not saying like I'm never going to lose on using this system. At some point, because I'm playing every single spin every single day, at some point I'm absolutely going to lose. It is an inevitability, because again, that's what probability is. You can't just keep playing and not lose at some point. Probability dictates that you should lose at some point with the amount of times I am playing. But by the time that inevitability does happen, because it is so insanely rare, you would have made your profit by then. So you would essentially be playing with profit and none of your real money. That's my view on it anyway. So 31, 22. I'll catch up with chat in a second. Don't mean to be ignorant, sorry. Here we go. So the strategy is shit. They have better strategies that work. Okay, yeah, so I used the word unlucky. How to explain it? Unlucky is just a useful word in this way to explain. So okay, look, for example, you could say if you were betting on reds, this run of blacks here, that is unlucky. Like, you could say that. You could describe that as unlucky. But what it is, it's an anomaly. So instead of unlucky, I should have used the word anomaly. But, you know, it's easier to say unlucky. So I wouldn't get too, like, you know, don't get your knickers in a twist because I used the word unlucky. It's interchangeable with the word anomaly. Like with all statistics, it throws up some like spikes of things that are strange, because that is part of probability. Strange, unusual things happening is part of probability. So yeah, don't like focus too much that I use the word unlucky. So we're halfway to my goal. Yep, and we've been streaming for about an hour, so we're pretty much on target for the £15 per hour. And we're on the 2 streets. I mean, by the way, Merlin, I'm not like trying to convince you or shit on your view. You can have your view that this system doesn't work. I mean, that's fine. Maybe you're right, maybe I'm wrong. I obviously tend to think that I'm right, and I'm just trying to explain to you the reasons why I think I'm right. But you know, it's cool if you want to like keep your opinion. I'm just throwing out my reasons why I think this would work. If you don't think it works, then that's cool. I mean, I'm not here to try and say to anyone, hey yo, follow my system and pay me for it or anything like that. I've just developed a system and I thought it'd be interesting to share. Some people might want to watch me do it. I'm not encouraging people to do this. If people want to copy this system, I'm okay for helping them and giving them pointers and answering questions and stuff like that. But yeah, like, everyone's entitled to have their own opinion. If you don't believe there is such thing as a roulette system that can work, that's fine, man. That's cool. I don't agree. I think a lot of other people here don't agree with that, but it doesn't matter. Your opinion is your opinion at the end of the day. That's what makes this world so beautiful. We all have different opinions, even if you're wrong. Can I win if I start with $6 and do 20 pence? Nope. The minimum you need to start with is give me a second, £423. That's the minimum bankroll you need if you want to do this system. Let the strategy speak for itself. Wise words, Callums. I didn't read all of it yet. 1 second. Oh, so we have got 3 streets in the final dozen. Any number that pops up in the final dozen is almost guaranteed a win. 10 days up £600. if this continues, we'll come back a few months and see how it's going. Exactly, yeah, that's a very good point Callum makes there. Like, you can not believe in the system, and that's fine. You can just keep checking back now and again and see where the balance is at. I'm not going to be adding any more money. I might add a little bit more money because I want to get to 2,000, but obviously you can just, oh, there's me saying any number in the final dozen will give a win. Pops right in between them. Oh my god, my computer's going so slow, it's not detecting the streets. 29. Catch up with you in a minute, chat. I'm Blub, thank you for the follow, and Whitey also thank you for the follow. Very much appreciated, guys. Thanks for that. Why don't you play with £1 instead of 10p's? Just asking. I'll explain that in a second. Boom! Finally. So the reason why I'm not playing with £1 instead of 10 pence is because I would need a bankroll of £4,230, and I don't have that type of money. I just work a regular day job, so I played with the lowest amount possible because I can't afford to lose 4,000. I don't even have £4,000 to lose. So I scaled it down to the lowest amount, which was £423, and that's why I've been playing with, £423. Where can I look at the system? I just tuned in. Whitey, you can look at the system by literally watching my last broadcast, which was today. I'd done a really good broadcast earlier that went through the whole system from round 1 all the way to round 14 and then into tier 2, because what you're seeing here is not the full system. There's a tier 2, which is a layer of protection for this system, and yeah, you can see that in action on my past broadcast from today. I don't have a video of it like in a digestible form, not yet anyway. I don't have it written down, so yeah, there's no quick solution. You'll just have to either watch me live and ask questions and I'll do my best to answer, or check out in the past broadcasts and take notes, because there isn't a video of it. I mean, there's not a digestible video of it anyway, not yet. I do plan on releasing a tutorial in the future, so anyone who's interested in that, please do follow the channel, and obviously I'll update you all when I release that video, the tutorial of this system. And also in that system I'll be going into the mathematics of how this system works, why it works also. So this girl earlier today sent me into tier 2 territory. I think she went 16 or 17 spins without giving me a win, so let's hope she's not in one of them moods right now. Please can I explain the strat? I'll talk you through it from this point. After my last win, I waited for one spin without betting, and number 1 came in. So that was my first street, the street containing number 1. And then number 22 come in. That was my second street because it wasn't a winning street. Then number 11 come in, so I don't bet on that. Number 33 has come in. I don't bet on that street. And now on this spin, if it's not a win, I bet on that street. So round 5 is the ball that decides what my third street will be, and then I double up on each street, so it's 20 pence on this street, 20 pence on the second street, and 20 pence on whatever the third street will be, and then I scale up according to a very precise amount of bets per street, which you can see by either watching me live now if it goes up that high, or in the past broadcast where it does go over 14 spins. So as you can see on that spin there was no win, so I just doubled up on those 2 streets and then matched it on that street. Maybe complicated for some, but once you get used to it, it's actually quite simple. Okay, I'll give it a shot and tune in now. And then, by the way, why don't you just write down the system? The reason I haven't written it down and done a full tutorial is because that would be extremely time consuming, and also I want to do a really professional job with it because yeah, I believe the system is really strong and really good, so I just want it to be very presentable, very digestible, and I don't want to half-ass it. So when I have the time and when I have the money, I'm just going to do a proper full-on balls to the wall tutorial that is yeah, that would be very easy and interesting to watch and not just half-ass it. Pretty lady though, yeah, indeed. Always on the same table. So here's the thing, you can start off like at the start of the stream. I can choose any table, it doesn't really matter, but once you've chosen a table, you stick to that table, you don't deviate to other tables. The reason being, you want to keep the variables down to a minimum. So the only variable I have to contend with is the change of dealers. There's nothing I can do about that. Every casino changes dealers every 30 minutes, so whatever. That's just a variable that so far hasn't affected the performance of the strategy. But you want to keep the same wheel, the same ball, the same table, like everything the same, because then obviously these probabilities, the last 500 spins, the last 1000 spins, they're always constant, rather than jump into another table where the probability may be evening itself out in a way that's going to go against you. So just stick to the same table, to the same ball, and should be fine. 33. Like all you want to do is limit your variables. What was the bet on the 14th spin? £3.60. £3.60 across 3 streets. I mean, on each street, not across 3 streets. It's completely different meaning. So if my streets was 1, 4 and 7, it would be 360, 360, 360. Yeah, so the fifth spin, that's the first time that you go on to 3 streets, and you start increasing your bets from there on. Like the 5th spin will decide what the 3rd street is, just to be clear, and then from there on in. We're just taking over the wins here, guys. Been having a really long, deep conversation with you guys in chat, and while I've been doing that, we've gone up from, where were we? We're all the way down like in £2001, £2002, somewhere around there, and we've just gone all the way up to 1000. Did I say 2000 then? 1001, and I've gone all the way up to 1018 at this point. So that's how strong this system is. You can just, I'm just sitting here having a chat, and the money's just rolling in at an average of £15 per hour. It's pretty good. Pretty good stuff. Then increase 10p. So it's not strictly 10p. You can see on my past broadcasts how much I increase it by. Initially it is 10p, but it doesn't stay at that rate all the way up to 360. Because if you just did it at 10p, you'd end up losing. Like if the ball came in at say round 8 and you were only increasing 10 pence each spin, you would end up losing money that way. So yeah, I would recommend looking at a past broadcast to see exactly how much you need to be betting and when. So why do you need 423? What stops this from doing this with 30? So yeah, you could do this with 30, okay? But you need to be aware that if you only have £38, give me a second. I'll explain to you why you need so much bankroll. So if you only do this with £38, which is the minimum you'll need to go over the 14 rounds, you need a bankroll of £38. Every now and again, so I'm literally abusing this system. I'm betting every single spin, every single round, and I've done that for 15 days. And what I've noticed is every 3 hours, every 2 or 3 hours, you will have a run of 14 or more numbers where your street doesn't come in. So when that happens, you lose £38. So the reason why you need a bigger bankroll is because you will step up to tier 2, which is literally 10 times what we're betting at now. So instead of 10 pences, you'll be betting at £1. And what that'll enable you to do is win back that £38 and 50 pence, because it's so rare that you'll go over that £14. You'll just play at that higher level, win that money back, and carry on at the safer level, just drop back down to the 10 pences. That's what makes this system so strong and safe. That's what's allowed me to get to the point where I was at £420 at one point, and now I'm at almost £1,020. And give me a second, I'll just make my bet and then I'll catch up on the chat. So it starts to become Martin Gay almost at a certain point. So you need to start saving. Well, yeah, but the thing is to remember with this system, I started with the £420 because it's safe, but you need to understand that there is still a risk and a probability that you can lose all that money. If you really want to play it safe and at full strength, you need £4,000, because then obviously you'll have a tier 3 layer of protection. That's when you're really safe. But even then, you need to understand that crazy things do happen. People win the lottery, like that's insane. The chance of you winning the lottery is insane. So the chance of you hitting such a poor run of bad luck can happen, and you'll lose that £4,000. You need to understand that as well. I'm not going to say like go out there and do this strategy and you'll just be really rich. You need to understand there is risks. You're playing roulette, there's probabilities, and the probabilities are always going to be there that you may end up losing that money. So you need to, like, anyone who wants to try this system needs to understand that there's always going to be a risk, no matter how safe you play it. Yeah, exactly, it's gambling, so there's always risk. Exactly. Why didn't I bet on 4th and 5th spin? The reason I don't bet on 4th and 5th spin is to prolong, how to explain it? So the way the statistics work out, you want to be involved in the system for 14 rounds. So to extend my bets up to 14 rounds, I skip 2 rounds. So I'm still betting on 2 streets, but I don't include the 3rd street until round 5, because that prolongs my involvement in the system to 14 rounds, if that makes sense. Without that, I would be down to 11 rounds, and that is usually enough. Like, most of my wins come in within the first 6 rounds, the first 6 spins, but now and again it goes up to 12, 13 and 14 spins, so you need those there. And no matter what round you win, you're still going to be making a profit, and that's like the important part of this betting structure, or this algorithm, is that you're always going to be making money no matter when you win. So that's another reason why it's important to skip those, the 3rd and 4th spin. I mean, that you don't start betting on those streets, if that makes sense. The cheating scumbag. Thanks for chatting, and thanks for the follow, man. It is very much appreciated. And guys, if you're interested in strategies with roulette, if you like roulette in general, please do consider smashing that follow button. It does help me out and is always appreciated. My channel is literally going to be dedicated to roulette. So if roulette is interesting to you, then please do give the channel a follow, because yeah, I'm literally only going to be doing roulette. I try to do it on a daily basis. It's not always possible to stream every day, but I am going to be making the effort to be on here every single day doing roulette, doing this particular strategy. Further down the line in the future for this channel, I am going to be trying out different strategies, but for now, in the near future and for the medium term future, I'm going to be doing this strategy, going to be proving it out, and yeah, just taking over and making money from this strategy. So if that intrigues you in any way, please do follow the channel. How many rounds can you afford to lose before going back? So with my bankroll, initially we can go up to, so from, if you go straight from tier 1 to tier 2, the amount of times I can survive is 24. Yeah, 24 spins. And needless to say, it's never gone over 24 spins. So what do you do when you lost 14 rounds? So roughly how many hours have you put in since you started? Okay, so I'll start with what do you do when you lost 14 rounds. I step up to tier 2, and tier 2 is basically the same what I'm doing now, you just times the chips by 10. So instead of 10 pences, I'm using £1. So say for example I was betting 30 pence on each street. Instead of 30 pences, I would be using £3. So you just times it by 10. It's the same scale, you just times it by 10. And what that enables you to do is make back any previous losses from tier 1. You have to, sometimes you have to get 3 wins at tier 2, but you know, it's quite, as you can see, it's quite easy to get the wins in really quickly. So never say never. Yeah, exactly. It's inevitable that it's going to happen at some point. I mean, full strength, the system at full strength is with £4,000, and I have a tier 3 layer of protection, so that would be 34 rounds. 34 rounds that a street, one of the 3 streets would have to not come in. 34. Like, that's insane. But yeah, it could happen. There was another question. So roughly how many hours have you put in since you started? Ooh. I'm gonna say somewhere around 50. I've probably put in 50 hours. No, it would be less than that. 40 possibly. I'm really not sure, man. I suppose there is a way I can work it out, because I've saved all of my past broadcasts and I've exported them all to my YouTube channel. So I could actually work out exactly how much time I've put into it. But at a guess, 40 hours I've probably played this. So you're going back to one street, or you stay on the same streets? The streets I choose are decided by the previous winning number. So after I've won actual money that I've won, I just restart from the beginning with new streets. So in this case, number 3 came in. Let me just hit rebet. So I won on number 14, so I just reset, start again. Number 3 came in, so I bet 10p on street containing 3. Number 17 came in, so I'm betting on street containing 3 and 17. And then miss a street, and then miss a street again. And then this spin will decide my 3rd street, unless it's one of the 6 winning numbers that I'm betting on. Can you play on 4 streets? Yeah, I suppose you can. I mean, you could develop your own system. Maybe I'll come up with a system in the future actually that utilizes 4 streets, because that could be interesting, because that would give you winnings even quicker. I was thinking about something a little bit different. So there is a roulette available that has 2 balls, so it gives you twice the chance of winning. But instead of it paying out 11 to 1, because 1 ball will give you the chance of 11 to 1, it gives you the ratings of 5 to 1, which is a little bit cheeky because it should be 5.5 to 1. But that's like literally the only reason why I didn't bother doing the 2 balls roulette, because it's kind of cheating you out of some of your winnings. 0.5 of your winnings, so yeah, I stayed clear of that. But yeah, technically you could cannibalize this strategy that I'm using right now and you know, Frankenstein in a 4th street somehow. Definitely possible. The Real Cookie Gang, thanks for the follow. It is appreciated, man. And thanks to everyone in chat and just sitting there viewing as well. It is appreciated. It does. All the views, all the chats, all the follows really helps my channel out in a big way. So thank you very much for that. And I'll catch up with chat just after this. 28 is a loss. This girl today is just sending me on long losing streaks for days. She absolutely loves it. She must hate me. So chat. I mean, when you need to go to tier 2, can you play on Fortnite? You should go back to... Oh, okay, so when you go back to... When you go on tier 2, no. You can do it that way, but what I tend to do is stay on the same 3 streets. But obviously, you go to the lowest betting amount on the 3 streets. So you do £2 on each, and then £3, and then 4, and then 5, and then so on. But yeah, it's kind of up to you. It doesn't really make too much of a difference if you wanted to just start from scratch. I like to continue the betting round, so I'm sacrificing 4 spins, but I believe it's worth the sacrifice to stay on the same 3 streets. So when you initially go up to tier 1, you only have 10 spins in which to win. But you could theoretically just go back, just start betting on 1 street and then 2 streets and then eventually 3 streets. It would work out, in my opinion, the same. You stay at that level for the same amount, and obviously after you hit the win, you don't stay on those 3 streets. When eventually one of those numbers come in, you don't stay on the same 3 streets. You drop back down to 1 street then, but you stay on the £1 chip until you make a profit. Carthy UK, thank you for the follow, man. It is appreciated. So yeah, this girl is keeping me deep in the rounds here. We're running out of spins. 6 spins left, including this one. 22 is not the one, so we have 5 spins left. With 9 numbers, I don't know if you guys know, but with 9 numbers there's a 1 in 4 chance, so every 4 spins should be one of my 9 numbers, and we have 5 spins, so the odds are still in my favor. But this girl has got history with me. I think she sent me into tier 2 twice today. Just in one day she's done it to me. So yeah. RBYG Pro, thanks for the follow, man. It is appreciated. Boom! Not this time though. This time she goes and secures the win. We're up to 1,022. £7.30 away from the target. Going good. I'll catch up with chat now. After how many streets do you move up tiers? I always stay on 3 streets until the 14th round. And then the 14th, if we don't win on the 14th round, we go up to tier 2. So it's not really about stepping up the amount of streets. There's 14 spins. If you don't win in one of those 14 spins, you go up to tier 2, which is £1. And I realize I'm really far behind on chat, but I will catch up. 4 streets is 3 times the value though, but less risk. Yeah, but you're also losing more money, so you need to adjust the bet amounts. So yeah, It's not as simple as just adding a fourth street. You need to create a completely new algorithm. Hey, Satisfaction, good to see you back, man. So is there a jump from 5 to 7 on tier 2 as well? Yeah, that's right. You go £5, £7, £10. It stays at the same level. Oh, boom, headshot, double. Gotta love the double. What if the ball falls on 0 when you have a street already? I'll explain that in a second. So then 3, 4, 5, yeah, exactly. 3, 4, 5, 7, 10, 14, and so on. The dream is real, Sibon. See you around. I'm out. Yeah, catch you later, Mr. Master Yubin. Thanks for dropping by again. It is appreciated. So you only skip bets 4th and 5th in the first tier only, or in each tier. 1 second. So here we go. Initially, when you don't win within the first 14 rounds, what I do is continue on the same 3 streets just from round 5. So the betting scale will be £2 on 3 streets, the same 3 streets. And you have 10 chances to hit one of those 9 numbers. When one of those numbers come in, you start again. You stay at £1, but say number 29 comes in, you bet on 1 street of £1, and then 25 comes in. So it's £1 on 29, £1 on 25, and you just stay at that level until you've made back the money you lost. So say you were on £800, you lose £38.50 because you lost at tier 1. So you stay at tier 2 until your balance shows a profit of at least 801. And typically that will take 3 wins at tier 1. If that makes sense. So it is a little bit complicated, but it needs to be complicated in order to give you the advantage. If it was simple, then the casinos would already know about it and find a way to stop you from playing the way I play. A little bit complex, but it is worth it. Did I miss? Oh my days! I missed my bet. I should have won then. I'll just scratch that up as a loss. Wasted 20p there. It's my own fault for not paying attention. Three times 33 and 5 spins. Oh, well spotted. Didn't even notice that. No, it's just 4 spins actually. 33 come up in 4 spins, just 4 spins. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's insane. And I ended up not winning because of that. I would have lost 20 pence instead of making like £1. I'm an idiot. Don't wanna be a British idiot. Oh, the 3rd tier number only, yeah. I mean, this last dozen has been running hot as hell. 28, 34, 32, 33, 33, 29, 33, 32, 28. What? What?
And the ball is landing. On a 25.
And there's another. That last dozen is lit. And I can't believe I just used that word.
Money back.
Yeah, look, it's running away. Even with the 500 spins, it's actually running away. 35%. A good 4% higher, and like 4% over 500 spins, that's quite high. And I'll catch up with chat after this spin. So why don't I do this on speed roulette? The problem is later in the rounds I need to add 6 chips on each of the 3 streets. So 6 here, say 6 here, and then 6 here. That's 18 clicks I need to make, and it's just 17 seconds is just enough time to do it. And on speed roulette it's something like 8 seconds, maybe 10 seconds at most. It's simply not enough time. So, well, speed roulette would literally probably double the amount of money I'm making. I just don't have enough time to make the clicks. What? We've got another high number. I'm not even happy about this, to be honest, because 2 of my streets are in that last dozen, and surely they've got to run cold at some point, because at the moment they're just running way too hot. 36% is up to, whereas the middle dozen is cold, so that's probably gonna get hit a lot within the next 500 numbers. But okay, whatever. And thank you, Choyodo. Choyodo. Thank you for the follow. Oosh. We've got some dodgy streets here, guys, so we'll see how well this system will stack up to some dodgy numbers. I mean, we've even got like blocks of reds and blacks now as well. I took notes for a few hours and I count just 10 spins till you reach £1 where my mistake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You don't bet on the first number, to put it simply. The first number you just observe. You're not betting on the first number. The dealer makes a spin, and that's your first street. And that's the beginning of round 1. So then round 10 will be £1 then. Oh! I got a feeling this is going to be a bad run. But okay, we still got 7 spins. But considering it's nerve-wracking, I'm gonna just change up the... Oh, look at that! The first street is running insanely hot as well. This is crazy. I am really worried right now with how crazy this is going. Even though I have 6 spins left remaining, these numbers are just bizarre. Like this middle is not even getting hit. The middle dozen is not getting touched. So at some point this ball has got to start hitting. There we go. See, now it's starting to hit it. But now I'm kind of screwed over. I'm so tempted to just leave this table because this is just crazy. What is happening here is absolutely insane. These numbers here, they're just unreal. 5 spins left though. See, and here we go. The middle has got to catch up now. Probability dictates that the middle also needs to start catching up. And at 29% to another 35 in that one. Worrying times. Patience. I know. I trust the system. Boom. The system, even though my superstitions, I suppose, and my gut feelings were saying, oh my god, this is wrong, the system still always pulls through. I'm so happy that that has pulled through because these are some bizarre results coming up. Absolutely bizarre. So tempted to switch the tables now, but whatever. We stick with it. I can stop the dramatic ass music in a minute as well. I just want to get my first bet in. So now we're going to start hitting all the middle numbers now. 1 second. I'll just sort the music out. How many rounds does tier 2 have? It has the same amount of rounds, 14. But initially 10, because I'll explain now. So the reason you go into tier 2 is because you spun for 14 rounds and you didn't get a win. But you need to keep those same 3 streets. And in order to keep the same 3 streets, you need to bet at the minimum amount that it is for 3 streets, which is £2 on each street. So you've lost 4 rounds at that point. So you still have 10 rounds left. Up until you're betting £36 on each of the 3 streets. So when you first go into tier 2, you have 10 spins. And even after you hit one of those 10 spins, you still need, on average, another 2 wins. So once you hit the win, you just start again, but you still stay with £1. So it's £1 on one street, and then £1 on each of the 2 streets. And then on round 5, you're playing with £2 on 3 streets, and so on and so forth. But initially, when you go up to tier 2, you have 10 spins. After the win you have 14 spins, if that makes sense. Here we go again, another middle. The middles are going to start catching up, but I've only got one street in that middle dozen. So what happens when you lose the 10 rounds after tier 2? So if you lose the 10 rounds after tier 2, you go into tier 3 and you bet in £10 instead. So you'd have £20 on each of the 3 streets. And then you'd have another 10. So you'd have, essentially you'd have 34 spins. But obviously, for that to happen, you need £4,000 in your bank. Obviously, I don't have 4,000. So if I go over tier 2, I just lose. I lose £400 because I don't have tier 3 available to me. But one day I will have enough money and I'll have tier 3 available to me. But right now I'm just playing a risky game and gambling. Even though it doesn't look like I'm gambling because I'm only risking 10 pences, I am actually risking £423 with each time I'm involved in a game. Tier 3 initially is 10 spins, yeah. But then obviously after, if you hit the winning number within those 10 spins, you still need to stay at tier 3 to win back the money that you lost at the previous 2 tiers. So then essentially you have 14 spins. But I think you understand me. You seem to understand what I was on about. And it's no problem to ask so many questions. It's cool, man. I want to help people out. If you want to, like, if anyone wants to get involved in the system and want to try it out for themselves, please do ask if you're not sure about something, because I'd rather you like actually know what you're doing and try the system rather than go in like and make a few mistakes and learn the hard way as such and actually lose your money. I'd rather you like really understand the system. And by the way, like, anyone who wants to try this system, you need to understand that you are actually gambling. Like, even though I've got from £420 to 1,027, there was an element of risk where I could have lost all of that money. So you need to understand that your mileage may vary. You may not get the same results as me. You might hit a bad run of numbers. Like, you need to understand that. Look at this. What is going on? 4 times in a row this street. I'm not happy that I have to bet on this, but here we go. I am on this. And you're welcome, Stefan. Any time, brother. And yeah, guys, if you're interested in the strategy or just roulette in general, please do give the channel a follow. It is very much appreciated. Really does help me out in a big way as well. So obviously I'm pushing to get Twitch partner. They want to grow the channel as well. So yeah, please do consider following if you're at all interested in roulette or roulette strategies, because that is definitely my thing. I'm all about the roulette strategies. Whoa, what? This girl is loving the number 10. That is all I'm saying. We're £1.70 away from target. So yeah guys, the stream is coming towards the end. Once I've hit that 130, I'm gonna get off stream, get some sleep, and then come back on here for another round tomorrow. So yeah, if you're not already following the channel, please do hit that follow. Check back tomorrow. Imagine the people betting insane amounts of numbers knowing they come in 5 spins. Oh yeah, I know, like, yeah, if I was betting the maximum, £25 on 10, just on 10, straight up, boom, 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 oh my god. That'd be orgasmic. Yep, I knew this middle dozen would start to catch up at some point. It is an inevitability. 2170 before target. I mean, it says, oh, I put the title at 50. Okay, I'll just carry on to 1050 then, or until I fall asleep. So that would take me another hour and a half. 30, yeah, another hour and a half. That's fine. Let's stay on here for another hour and a half till target. Really need to remember my own targets, don't I? I mean, that would be useful. Glad you pointed that out, Stefan. Just do 10:30. Yeah, I'm in two minds about it. I mean, I'm gonna hit it quite soon. I've only been streaming for 2 hours. I kind of want to do longer streams. I tell you what, I'm gonna split it down the middle and go for 1040, because 2 hour streams, they're not long enough for my liking. I want to be doing a bit longer than that. If I'm tired, I might lose more. Yeah, and it's kind of automatic now, because I've bet thousands of times using this system. It's really just automatic now. So I don't think I'd make a mistake. I hope not. But yeah. And also I'm kind of greedy. I want to make that extra £10. Yeah, I'll go for 1040. Boom. It is so hot here today in the UK, for an evening anyway. I don't know how many of you guys watching who are actually based in the UK, but something like 23, 24 degrees outside for an evening. It's insane. It's way too hot. .22 degrees in Germany as well. You get, I've never been to Germany, but I think you get kind of hot days in the summer anyway. I mean, you have much nicer weather than the UK. So I don't know how 22 degrees feels for you over there in Germany, but here it's not good for the evening. It feels horrible. especially because it's so moist here, really humid. Yeah, not a nice feeling. Okay, so we have the two bottom streets. It just looking at my OBS right now, I seem to have dropped a lot of frames. I think my connection's starting to struggle in this heat as well. It's probably my computer, to be honest. It is a really old, crappy computer. I think it's 11 years old. Obviously, that'll be one of the first things that I upgrade. Don't want to be taking any money out of my winnings, so I don't know, I'll probably save up from my job, save up for a computer, or at least some form of upgrade. Mosquitoes, yeah, I'm kind of lucky here. In the UK we don't really have mosquitoes, well at least not in my area anyway. Why is Sky Casino best with the system? I'll explain in just a second. So it's not really that they're best with this system, it's they're best with this system at this low level. So they're one of the few casinos that allow you to use 10 pences, and not only that, they have the correct table limits and street limits. So the street limit is a minimum of 10 pence with a maximum of 75. That's perfect because you'll only ever go up to 36 maximum, and the minimum obviously is 10. But also the table limit is a minimum of 10. Most table limits are £1, which is awful for this system. And the maximum is 1,000, and you're never going to get close to that. So basically, they're only the best casino simply because of the table limits. You could use, if you can find another casino with similar table limits, then feel free to use them. But Sky Casino is the only one I could find with these limits. Another question, I calculated all the 34 rounds if you lose 3 tiers. It says you lose $2,038, not 4K. Let me just double check with that. Nope, it's definitely 4,273 because tier 1 is a bankroll of £38.50. Then tier 2 you would lose 385, and then tier 3 you would lose 3,850. So those combined was 24. So all those combined come to a grand total of £4,273.50. I mean, it's pretty simple maths because you just times it by 10. So your bankroll for the first round is £38.50. Times that by 10 is 385, and then you just times that by 10 again is 3,850. So that's £4,273.50. There's a strategy though for £2,000 where you bet 50 pences instead of 10 pences, and then tier 2 you'll be betting £2 instead of £1. But obviously again that's only a tier 1 and a tier 2 protection. There is no tier 3 protection with that. If you want a tier 3 protection you'll have to times it again, so you'd need how much would you need? 194. Oh, you would need £19,400. What? Let me just double check that, because obviously 50 pence is 194, £5 is 1,940. So yeah, wow. If you want a tier 3 at 50 pences, you need £19,400. Ouch. One day. Oh, what did I miss? I've missed one of my bets here. Oh, what am I doing? I won. What? Hang on. Wait a minute. 34. Number 9. 8 and 9. I won. I wasn't paying attention, so I've just wasted. How much did I waste? 90 pence. That's what happens when you don't pay attention. Oh well. If you win on the 10th round, your profit is £1.20. On the 10th round, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You mean your profit minus all the previous losses, yeah? Because it's more than £1.20. I don't have it written down, but I'm pretty sure it's more than £1.20. I mean, where's that? I have got it written down, I just don't have it. Don't believe I got it handy. Where did I put that? No, it's in one of my old notebooks. I'm pretty sure it's more than £1.20 because it's designed that the longer you go into the system, the more money you'll win, because it rewards you for the time invested as well, not just getting you £1.20 for any win at any point. Round 5 is definitely £1.10. If you win, like when you first go up to 3 streets, 20 pence on each street, you will win £1.10, and from every spin after that it increases a small bit, so your time is not wasted by waiting for the longer rounds. I can't believe I just wasted 90 pence. It's like 5 minutes down the drain. It's not much time, not much money, I know, it's just, still it's a waste. That was unnecessary, and that's what annoys me more. Can I write in chat the first tier? Yep. You mean the amount you need to be betting for each? Give me a second. What's the minimum balance to start with? £423.50, but there's still an element of risk with that. With that, you only get tier 1 and tier 2. To play this system fully, you need 3 tiers: tier 1, tier 2 and tier 3, and for that you need £4,000, well, 4,273 to be exact, but you can get away with £4,000. Boom. There we go, that's the formula there, posted in chat. That's the secret formula, that's how you win. That's how you beat the roulette wheel. The secret is all in those numbers right there. Boom, a double 15. What? This guy needs to chill. So yeah, gonna go for £1,040 and then back on it tomorrow. So yeah guys, if you're interested in this strategy, interested in roulette in general, please give the channel a follow. Gonna be doing roulette every single day. Okay, not every single day. I'm going to try and do roulette every single day, but every day I'm streaming, I'll just be doing roulette, be doing this strategy, trying out other strategies in the future. Yeah, it's exciting times ahead, because obviously I'm on a journey here. I've got this balance all the way up from £420. Now I'm over the £1,000 mark today. Very big day for me today personally, because I entered 4 digits. Yeah, I'm well happy with that, getting into the 4 digits. Maybe do a spreadsheet for the strategy to have it more visual. Yeah, like in the future I'm obviously going to be releasing much more information and details and a video and everything. So it's going to be much more digestible in the future, but right now I'm just doing this for myself and streaming on Twitch for people who may be interested in watching this strategy. And yeah, until I get time and money and effort to put into making that video, I'm just going to be streaming this and making money for myself right now using this strategy. But yeah, definitely in the future it's going to be, I'm going to release all the information in a digestible format, an easily digestible format. 23. Casa, thanks for the follow, man. Very much appreciated. You can write an ebook to sell. Yeah, I suppose I could write an ebook to sell, but I'm not sure how I feel about that. I might just, like right now, the way I'm thinking about it is I'll just invest a little bit of money, make a video, a really good video on how, like, people who are interested in this strategy can actually do it themselves. Put it on YouTube. It might generate a little bit of money on YouTube, like if the video is popular. If not, then whatever. But yeah, I didn't think maybe an ebook, something to think about. I'm not sure how I feel about charging people for it, to be honest. Because in my mind I've always just thought I'll just share it with everyone. I mean, I'm broadcasting it live for a start, so everyone can just come here and see it for free anyway. So yeah, I don't know. Really don't know. But anyway, there's something to think about in the future. Right now my focus is just on getting my bankroll up to where I want it to be. The minimum I want is £4,000 there. And then I can start to think about other things. Strictly speaking, I want it to be 4,600, so I can take out my initial investment of 600, and then I'm only playing with money that I've won. So any losses don't really feel so bad then. Yeah, I've had the same thoughts. I'd love it if all the viewers done the same as me, just like copied me, or even had like done it at a bigger level, so they're betting £1 instead of 10 pences. Casinos would definitely sort of have some alarm bells going. So the minimum bankroll is £420. That's correct, but you need to understand, if you're going to play with £420, the risk is still there. It's minimal, but it's still there. Like, the safest way to play with is £4,000, but you can. I started personally with 420 and got it up to where it is now. So like, yeah, you could do the same, but like, don't expect to do the same. Just know that it's possible, but also know you could lose that 400. And like, basically what I'm saying is, understand the risk is still there. I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah man, just throw in that 420, you're going to make £1,000 in 2 weeks, no problemo. No man, there is a risk. There's definitely a risk, and you need to be aware of that. We're playing roulette. Bad things happen to good people. In the end, it's just a strategy, like doubling the bet on colour. Yeah, essentially, yeah. The bare bones of it works in the similar type of way. So that was another good win. I'm just going to wait for the first number to drop. Ten is running quite hot. Oh no, it's not. It's cold. Strange. I'm sure I've seen 10 come out quite a lot, but obviously not. You can also choose Russian rubles, so you can start with less money. That's a good point. Okay, so this casino doesn't support rubles because it's Sky Casino, it's a British company. But obviously there's definitely casinos out there that deal with rubles, and you could do this strategy using, I don't know, 10 rubles or 1 ruble, wherever their chip amount is, and that's obviously going to be much less than pounds. So yeah, that's a good shout there, Ollie. Try that once with low bets. Insane how bets grow when you get 8 blacks in a row. Yeah, exactly. That's where the table limits come in. and I'll talk about that in a second. So obviously if you're doing the outside bets, you need to double up, and that adds up really quickly. So you start with £1, 2, 4, 8, 16 and so on. It racks up really fast, and then you approach these maximum bets on, where is it, red black of 1000. It's surprising how quickly you approach that 1000, and obviously if you hit that 1000, which can only take, I think, somewhere around 14 runs of black or red, that does happen, and you're risking £1,000 just to make £1 profit. It's insane. It's a very, very risky strategy to do. This works in a similar way, but it's not strictly the money doesn't rack up quite that fast, and you don't approach that £75 quite as quickly. And here we go, number 14. Found an auto roulette table with 10 cents bets. Nice, man. So auto roulette, they're probably fine because they're also third party. There's no reason for them to there's no need for them to rig or do anything dodgy with auto roulettes, because they're not actually run by the casinos that make money from you. They just make money by the casinos paying them a fee to access their services, so they're cool. There's nothing dodgy going on with them. I just prefer to use live dealers. I mean, like, I suppose in part I use live dealers because it's more interesting to stream on Twitch than if it was just the auto roulette thing. I think it would be a lot less interesting for most people if it was just an auto roulette wheel doing all the spins. But also, just on a personal level, I kind of find auto roulettes to be boring. I'd rather just live dealers. It's just me. Wait, so what do you do when it hits £75? It never goes up to £75, but I'll explain something in a moment. So at tier 2, the highest it will go is £36 on each street, and the total max is 1000, so you don't get close to each of those maxes. But at tier 3, obviously you do, because the highest you'll be betting is 360. So what you have to do at that point is go to a different table. So there is an added variable in there to consider, but basically you just go to a table with a higher limit and you start from scratch. You start the 14 rounds at tier 3 from scratch. Is it possible to play speed roulette? No, because at some points later in the game I'm adding 6 chips to each of the 3 streets, 6, 12, 18. So if I was playing 3 street speed roulette, I just simply wouldn't have enough time to put 18 chips across 3 streets. I barely have enough time. The 17 seconds here is just about enough time to put 18 chips in total. Can you explain the progressive bets and what the tiers are? Yep, 1 second. Right, so for example, we pick it up here where I'm betting 20s on 3 streets. We stay on 3 streets. We never go over 3 streets. We're locked into these specific 3. If this is a loss, indeed it is, we simply add an extra chip. And I just note down the results there. And if it's not a win again, we add another chip, so it's 40, 40, 40 on each street. And then again 50, and then obviously if I was to go 60, if I was to win on, if it was 60 on each street, I would actually lose money. I wouldn't make back the amount that I've lost in previous rounds. So you have to follow a strict betting amount for each spin, and I've wrote that in chat, the amount you need to be betting. You can also find that out by watching one of the past broadcasts. You can see a time where I go over 14 rounds, and that obviously will show how much you need to be betting on each of the 14 spins. Oh yeah, and the tiers, tier 2 is basically the same betting structure as tier 1, except you times it by 10. So instead of betting 10 pences, you're betting £1, because you just times it by 10. Simple enough. So if I was at tier 2, now I would be betting £5, because 50 pence times 10 is £5. And you stay at tier 2 until you've made back the initial loss. It would have been a loss of £38.50, so you make back that £38.50 and some profit on top of that. Usually that will take 3 wins, so say 10-15 minutes. And tier 3 is exactly the same as tier 2. Well, not exactly the same. I mean, you times 10. So instead of £1, you're playing with £10. So at tier 2, I'd be betting £7 here, and at tier 3, I'd be betting £70. That would be exciting. £70 on each of the 3 streets. Boom. Starting to worry about this guy then. So we are £6.40 away from tonight's target. I know in the actual title I put 150, but I kind of realized how ambitious that was because I'm actually quite tired. So I'm going to downscale it by £10. It's going to be 1040 for today, and then I'll be back on it tomorrow. So yeah, if you're interested in catching up with me tomorrow and seeing how this system does, or if you're at all just interested in roulette, please follow the channel. Okay, so we have our 2 streets, 6 and 16. And we continue our journey on to the £1,040 target. £15 per hour, so roughly half hour away. So 1 o'clock UK time, we should be wrapped up, done and dusted here. That's the plan anyway. Two more spins with this 6 numbers. See if you can hit it. If not, we go up to 3 streets. No, that's a miss. We bet. And at this point we have 11 more spins. And if he doesn't hit it this round, I'll increase it to 3 streets, 9 numbers, giving us a 1 in 4 chance. Oh yeah, 1 in 4 chance of a win. Boom. Kind of the worst time to win. That represents just a 50p profit. But bear in mind, even though it's only 50p, it was a quick win. So we just move on to the next number now. Those quick wins, they all add up, and in general gives around £15 per hour tax free. £5.90 away from target. First number's 19. Street of 19. No win. We bet. Two more spins at this level. And then we jump up to 3 streets. but this guy's been pretty consistent. He's been hitting the wins quite early. So we could see a win before we even get to the 9 numbers. So that's the 1111. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Lost on 25. So this is the last spin where we'll be using 10 pences. So yeah, where I wrote those numbers before, that's the tier 2 amounts. So obviously you just take it down by a factor of 10. So the ones in this case represent 10 pences, the 2 represented 20 pences, and so on and so forth. And we have our 3 streets. Nope, it was close, but it's not the one. So we're up to 3s. Nope, that's another narrow miss, but still not the one. Any win from here on in though is good profit. We'll be having a new dealer though, by the looks of it, after this next spin. And I assume it will be a she who will have 7 spins left if this is not a win. And it's not a win, so Amelia has 7 spins left.
Thank you. Hi. Welcome to my and that will be the next half an hour. So this is how we do. Let's check.
Kai Kablat, thank you for the follow. It's very much appreciated, man. Appreciate all the support for the channel today, guys. Just everyone who's viewing the channel, all you guys involved in chat, all you guys hitting the follow, it is very much appreciated. And look at this girl, we're an absolute legend. We're an absolute freaking legend. She comes in there, just hits the number straight away like an absolute boss. £4.80 away from the Sukabliat. It's Russian. Oh, I know a little bit of Russian actually, and I know they are quite naughty words. Yep. I know the last one is anyway. Not quite sure what the first word means. Suka. I have heard it. I mean, if someone can translate, I'll probably be like, ah, yeah, of course, but I'm not gonna translate that last word. Trying to stay family friendly here, even though I know we're playing roulette. Not really a family friendly game, but there we are. Just weird. Wicked, thank you for the follow. Very much appreciated, man. Appreciate the support. Message deleted. Oh, sorry, man. Looks like the filter for swear words got you there. So I don't even know what you said. See if I can log into chat on my computer now and hopefully it didn't ban you or nothing. I forgot my bot catches stuff like that. Oh, was the link to Urban Dictionary? Alright. I should be able to find it now. I mean, if I log into my Twitch chat, I should have the option to see. Okay, so it's not letting me. Whatever. I have to tone down my bot, I think. He's a bit aggressive on that. Sometimes the links can be useful. I only put the spam filter on because I was worried about people just spamming the chat with crappy links or something. Why your message not showing on a live stream? Oh, do you mean you're chatting here? I mean, actually, at the casino. You're putting the messages on the casino. Is that what you mean? Because I've seen you in chat, Alvo. I've seen your messages pop up. You haven't typed one for a while, but I've definitely seen them pop up here on my actual overlay, my chat overlay. Oh god, lag. Oh dear. %of them now coming up. Strange, I have no idea. I mean, my bot's not stopping them. If my bot was stopping your chat, it would notify me of it. So I don't know. Must be something either your end or with Twitch, because nothing's showing up in my chat, and it's definitely not my bot. So I don't know. I mean, if you want to resend your messages, it's fine. Just if you can copy and paste them. But obviously if they're gone, they're gone. All I can do is apologize for that. I don't believe there's anything my end though. This girl's hit a lot of black numbers. There's another one, and it's not mine either. see if I can change the settings here. Okay, so that's fine. Change this to low. Is that what it does with low? It just puts it on a small screen? Whatever. I suppose we'll leave it at that for now. £3.40 away from today's target. Don't know if it's my internet connection playing up right now, or is my computer overheating, or what. I'm not sure what's going on, but I'll just leave it like this for now until I reach that 1040. Whoa, we're gonna have if she hits one more black number, we're gonna have a full black row. I'm so tempted to start chucking £1 on red, but then that's gonna mess up my balance, because right now my balance is purely made up of this system. If I start cheating and going like £5 on red now, and then 10 and then 20, it's obviously gonna give false readings about how much true profit I'm making. You can see the bets better. Oh, yeah, that's true. There's definitely an upside. Actually, I quite like that. I'm glad you pointed that out. I didn't even notice. Because obviously it goes this big automatically when I make my bets. It's quite nice. Actually, I think it's bigger. Don't think it goes quite this big normally. And it's much easier to hit the detection points of the streets. Just don't like this amount of dead space, but whatever. We didn't get that full black row, unfortunately. Not that it makes a difference to me. Just one of those things that would be nice to see. My focus is on getting that 1040. We're not far off, so yeah guys, if you haven't hit follow on the channel yet, please do smash that follow. The stream will be coming to an end soon. We're one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. And by break I mean go off stream and go to sleep, because I'm tired and I only need £2.70 more to be able to go to bed a happy man. It's not going to take too long. I think that's 3 wins away. Yeah, 3 wins. Alvor, thank you for the follow. Very much appreciated. Let's get this first number, number 15. We get making this money. Why is it not detecting it? That's annoying. Yeah, it ended up showing up in the end. I guess there was a very big delay on your follow, but it definitely popped up in the end. Bet the maximum amount on 17 and win 40k. Oh man, if you're right now, I'm gonna go nuts. Went too far away. Boom, double 15. Headshot, baby.
Yeah,
38. £1.60 away. 2 more wins. What happens after 360 on each split? On each street, you mean? Will QWERTY, thanks for the question. I'll explain in just a jiffy. So, the thing that happens after the £3.60, we go up to a thing that I call Tier 2. Tier 2 is quite simple to understand. It's basically the same as what we do here. Exactly the same, except we do it at a multiple of 10. So instead of 10 pences, we're using £1. Instead of 20 pences, we're using £2. Instead of £3.60, we're using £36. And that's not the end of the story. I went quiet because I need to concentrate on my bets and make my notes. And yeah, so you stay at tier 2 at the higher level, which is the £1 instead of 10 pences. You stay at that until you make back the lost money. At that point you would be £38 and 50 pence down. So you would need to win roughly 3 times at tier 1 to make that money back that you lost. So as you can see, it's very, very rare you go into tier 2. Well, so far this stream, how long have I been streaming? Coming up to 3 hours. In 3 hours we haven't gone there once. So it's very rare. So when you do finally go up there, because it's inevitable, you will go up there, you just get those 3 wins and drop back down to tier 1 again, to the safety of tier 1. And that's how tier 2 works. And to the max is also on the surrounding numbers lookup. The max bet on splits is, that's not a win, let me just hit the rebet. Split, max bet 50. Yeah, so it works out the same. But what would you split it with? 20, is it? 17 and 20 didn't come in. What about any of the others? 18? Oh, 18 come in. If you were split with 17, 18, that would have been a good result. So the 28 is actually my 3rd street. So we're locked in with these 9 numbers now for the foreseeable future. Let me just check. 34, 34, 29, 26, 28. Yeah, correct. So now we have 10 spins in which to hit one of these 9 numbers. 9 numbers is a 1 in 4 chance. The odds are heavily in our favour. Amelia's been really good to me today. I think this is the 3rd time she's been at this roulette table. She hasn't helped me out this time, but we still have 9 spins remaining. 9 spins with a 1 in 4 chance. I believe in Amelia. Amelia is Bay. Fluid TV, how's it going, man? Good to see you back. Still on the up, I see. Always on the up with this system. It's just constant uppage. Literally, I'm just sitting here betting every single round, every single spin, and just going up, climbing that ladder. 14 is not a win. So we just increase the bets to 40. Uh, 25 bet on 17, 50 bet on 6. Squares. Oh yeah, you can do £100 on squares, 8 to 1. Oh, missed out. Now we're getting deep. I knew she'd giggle at that. Come on, let's get a win soon. This round. 30, yes. Thank you, Amelia. We're 50 pence away, guys. So yeah, next win will signal the end of the stream. Thank you for joining me, guys. Thank you for the support in chat, the questions, the intrigue. To all the viewers, to all the followers, it is very much appreciated. It's like literally been a massive help for me today, for you guys just being here with me, joining me on this journey. We started the day quite a way back, actually. At the start of the day, we were, whoa, where am I? 958 at the start of the day. 958. And now we're up to 1039. We're going to be over the 1040. It's a very good day. It's a very good day. I'm well happy with that, because the biggest part for me was getting over the 1000, hitting those first 4 digits. It's absolutely huge. It's really good, and yeah, it's been a very, very productive and good day. So thank you to everyone as well for joining. You have an idea when you stream tomorrow? Give me a second. Yeah, so UK time, I'll be streaming from about 1 p.m. 1 in the afternoon till somewhere around 4 or 5 in the afternoon. I'll have a short break and then I'll be back on again somewhere around 6 or 7 until, again this time, till about midnight tomorrow. So should be quite easy to find me tomorrow at some point. Be doing a very long stream again. But yeah, it won't be in the morning. Anything that's not morning, you've got a good chance of seeing me. I think I'll have a good sleep tonight and have a bit of a lie-in. How much longer will you stream today? I just put the pizza in the oven. Hi man, how's it going? Literally after the next win, I'm going offline, because my target, even though I put my target as 1050, kind of a bit too tired to go for another hour and a half. No, it wouldn't be that. It'd should be another 40 minutes. But anyway, too tired to do another 40 minutes. So after the next win, that gets me over 1040, and that's me done for today. So sometime within the next 5 minutes, I'll be going. So yeah guys, if you haven't hit the follow yet on the channel and you enjoy the stream, or you like roulette strategies or just roulette in general, please do hit that follow. Depends if I win. Whoa, no need for that, man. It was low. So we'll be going up to 3 streets. If this is not a win, 12 is not a win. 2 numbers in the first dozen, 1 number in the final dozen. 2 of those streets at the extreme ends of the board. Interesting. It's an interesting choice of streets you have there, Amelia. Please hit one of them soon. Nope, no win. Let's rebet, increase by 1 chip. Nine numbers, 1 in 4 chance, and we have 9 spins. 9 spins, 9 numbers. Nope. Rebet. Increase by 1. No. Go away, Zero. No one likes you. Seven. Hey, Quinster. Welcome back, man. I'll be getting offline soon after the next win. So you've joined like literally right at the end of the stream. But yeah, thanks for joining, man. Good to see you back in the stream. 7 spins left to hit one of these wins, and then I'm off to bed. 31 is not the one. Is this girl gonna really drive me into tier 2 right as I was about to go to bed? Is she actually gonna do this to me? I was 50 pence away. 50 pence away from bedtime. Someone's forgot to tell Amelia there's time for tubby bye-byes. This isn't even funny. 6 spins, including this one. No, again. I think I'm gonna have to remind her but it's bedtime. Lost on 21. Have some pizza with you. I have no pizza in the house, man. And no, I ain't gonna order one either. It's way too late. Nine. No. I think I confused her. She has a confused look on her face. Got yours in the oven. Feels good, man. See? Guys, let's talk about pizza. Oh no, what? Look at this. If one of these numbers come in, that's good. But I'm wasting 10p. A whole 10p to waste. I didn't even notice. So 20. 13, no. Oh, it looks like we're going up to tier 2 here, right at the end of the stream as well. Not even funny. Not even funny, especially if I lose at tier 2. Like, how the hell am I gonna sleep if I lose at tier 2 now? This girl, man. I'm the confused one. Yeah, I know. True. True that. Okay, so 3 spins. Positive thinking. 3 spins at a 1 in 4 chance. Boom. There we go. No need to be pessimistic. She gets the job done in the end. And that's 143. You got this, I believe. Yep, and I managed to hit it, man. It's all good. Happy days. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Luca, thank you for the follow, man. Very much appreciated. So yeah, guys, if you enjoyed the stream, if you're intrigued by the system, if you enjoy roulette, please do consider hitting that follow. I'm going to be back again tomorrow. So yeah, join me tomorrow. It's going to be, I'll probably do more streaming tomorrow, somewhere around 1 o'clock in the afternoon UK time. I'll be on. I'll have a little bit of a break and then back on again about 6 or 7. So yeah, I'll catch you then, guys, and take it easy. Peace out.